Well, if either one of you put on your crystal ball for a second, how do you how would you like to see policies evolve in the future right now? I mean, because when you look across the country, I mean, I think unless if Florida tried to pass an adult use bill this year, it didn't work, an amendment to the Constitution here, and seems like there are several states that are trying to constrict or roll back some of the cannabis policies that they've had in place. Where do you think this is going to go? Put on a crystal ball, either one of you. Next couple of years.
I'll start. There are. I would say, first of all, don't do it like California did it. Don't do it like Prop 64, because it'd be nice to just completely rewrite Prop 64. And there are some,
which we have an opportunity to do in 2028. By the way, we can reallocate where that money goes. Anyway, sorry, Dave.
And there is some movement on the national front to make it required that I believe, Chela, is this correct? They're trying to make it required for education for endocannabinoid system. Is that what that one group is working on?
Oh, so Americans for Safe Access want to create a Schedule 6, especially for cannabinoids, and I think other plants could go into it. So that's an interesting thought. Interesting way to go. I would love to see CBD regulated as a nutraceutical or a wellness product. That's what I would really like.
Completely off the schedule.
Yeah, off the schedule completely. And it's for CBD, full spectrum CBD oil with 0.3 THC. I would like to see regulated as a wellness supplement. And as far as cannabis regulation goes, when you make legislation that screws patients by not letting them grow their own medicine, and it enhances corporate, ties over people, that's not going to pass. And that's why Florida didn't pass. So you got to not have tyranny if you want people to vote for cannabis to be any different than what it is now. What do you think, Dave?
What do you think?
Well, I think that definitely, if it's no home grow, it's not freedom. It's not. It's just a way to control again. And ultimately, I think you're right, Montel, about what happened with CBD and these bad actors that are creating these products. Is we are seeing that backlash. We are seeing a pullback, not just because of this current administration, but I think it was even during the Biden administration. You see a pullback away from these legalization efforts, at least on a federal level. I think that's going to be dead in the water for a while. Will banking happen? Maybe. But, there's a lot of other stuff going on, and I don't think that's going to be on the top of the list. I think it's going to remain in the states. There's a lot of changes happening in the states, particularly with hemp. There are some good examples, though. I mean, there are some good programs out there. I mean, Montana has a great medical program. Will legalization happen in Montana? I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't screw up their medical program. It's really hard to see where it's going. If I had a crystal ball, I would say that we're still a long way off from descheduling, unfortunately. But hopefully we get some retraction on this new schedule idea. I think that's the first time I've ever heard of that idea, just giving its own classification, because it is different. It's not alcohol, but it's used as a recreational adult use product. And it is medicine, despite the complete denial of that by many of the politicians right now.
But
in
my mind, though, I got to tell you something. I think you open up a Pandora's box, because next comes echinacea, next comes vitamin C, next comes vitamin 3, next comes theanine, then next comes
What's wrong with that, though?
Well, but I'm not necessarily sure if as long as you have good practices, I don't necessarily believe that I need to have the FDA approve my vitamin C. You know what I mean? Because that to me just turns into a corporate thing. I mean, it's like now I'm gonna give one particular brand, authority over another brand of vitamin C, of D3. I get it from the sun. So what? I'm gonna go get a prescription before I can walk outside my apartment to stand in the sun. I mean, it's as ridiculous as this is. That's how ridiculous bureaucracies can be when it comes to putting regulations and rules on top of things. So
and the board members, there are paid board members from all these pharmaceutical companies that are actively sitting on these advisory boards at the FDA while they're getting paychecks from the pharmaceutical companies.
Correct.
So there's definitely a lot of conflict of interest. It'd be great if we could just deschedule it all, but I just don't think the environment is not going to go for that right now.